Greetings and welcome to Diedrich and Die presents the Titans Gift Season 3 Episode 23. I am your DM and host Marty, joined by the Seattle crew. How is everyone doing on this fine Tuesday? Let me make your mics all nice and toasty and warm. And they're hot. Hot mics.
Oh, wow.
Hot
I can
mics.
feel it suddenly.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's pretty hot.
Yeah. How's everyone doing? Not all at once. Yeah.
Doing pretty good. That's a pity we missed last week.
What happened last week?
No, I'm just saying we didn't play last week. It's a pity that we missed last week. You know, life happens, right?
Luke was on vacation. You were out
working.
Yeah, so
you were working. We were all busy.
Yeah.
You know, but it is Tuesday, and it's a beautiful Tuesday. It was a beautiful Tuesday.
Indeed.
I haven't left the apartment, so I wouldn't know.
I mean, I haven't left the house either, but I have a window right here.
No, I did notice something different. I'm like, it's warm in here, and I don't have anything like on, like the dishwasher or anything. And then I walked into the hallway because I did check the mail, so I left the apartment once. I lied. And I noticed it's nice and cool in the hallway, so I kicked open my door to let some of the heat transfer. So I noticed that it was like it was warming up because of the sun. But
are you guys Friends fans at all? There's an episode of Friends where Joey moves out and then he sits in his new apartment and he has this little mini window that makes it look like water's flowing against the window, and he's sitting there looking all lost and lonely looking at it. Well, that's how I look at my window every day when I'm working in meetings and people walk their dogs. I'm like, that looks like a lot more fun than what I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh, work. It's called work, not fun, for a reason.
Yeah. Doing it, you know?
Yep. Max, what's up with you, man?
Let's see here. I'm playing Tiny Tina's Wonderlands right now. It's a ton of fun. My wife and I are playing together, so she's playing. The cross-platform play is pretty great. She's playing on the PS5, and I'm playing on my laptop downstairs in the living room. So that's been awesome. I don't know if I had talked about this last time, but we finished Horizon Forbidden West. That took us about 120 hours. That was a lot of fun.
Like 100%? You guys were like pretty intensely hitting this game.
We're at like 99.2 or something like that. There's one creature that doesn't spawn, so we're like waiting for a patch to come out in order for us to go back and just kill that last one thing, or go scan it, actually. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Flew to Texas for a wedding last weekend. That was fun. Came back, got sick.
Did you mess with it while you were there?
What's up?
Did you mess with it while you were there?
Most of the time, except at the wedding.
I mean,
but
they say not to mess with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, like, when I checked in the hotel, they're like, just so you know, you're in the great state of Texas. You don't have to wear a mask if you don't want to. And I was like, cool. I'll go to my room now.
Wasn't the saying "Don't mess with
In
Texas"?
the cowboy hat.
Didn't that come about because of like, they needed like an anti-littering campaign or something like that? But Texans are like anti-authoritarian, so that they had to like convince people not to litter in this roundabout way.
I do know that Texas is the only state in the State of the Union that can secede.
What's that?
Don't mess with Texas. They had to convince, like, basically people who thought it was cool to litter without telling them not to litter, that, like, they built them up, like, don't mess with us. We don't litter. So they kind of twisted the message around.
So you're legit saying they have a backdoor option here?
Yeah, it's in their constitution. It's in, like, whatever they did to sign to join the union. They had an option that said that, like, if they voted their own referendum, they could leave the union without anybody else saying otherwise. Like, they wouldn't be considered treasonous. Like, they're in optionally or something. I'd have to go look up the specifics, but, like, Texas can lawfully secede from the union, and they're, like, the only state that can or something.
You would think that enough time had passed, that is no longer a concern.
I mean, militarily, I don't think we would let them. Like, I have a feeling we would just, like, say no. But anyways, not to get political on the stream. Went to Texas for a wedding. That was super awesome. I was really happy. Good friend of mine I used to work with. Came back, got sick, tested for COVID. Wasn't COVID. So now I just have a shitty sore throat, but it'll probably make playing Aethergus easier. So.
Yeah, I can hear the little raspberry voice.
Okay,
There you go.
Yeah, I'm getting better.
Matt, what's going on with you?
I've been playing some Elden Ring.
Yep.
That's
what level? What level you up to?
70.
Damn.
I found it was bugged for a little while. I could rest at a particular site and then stand there, and a bunch of things below would fall through the world and die. So I stayed there for a little while. And
That's great, dude.
I got about 10 levels off that.
Yeah.
Got bored, moved on. It's not broken with the patch. All right.
You past the castle yet? I'm stuck in the castle still.
I got through the first 2 dungeons. I beat Godric and I beat the Raya Lucaria place. I went ahead and picked up that Sword of Dark and Flame, Night and Flame, something like that, which is pretty OP. So I basically got OP and then went and killed the first boss like 60 levels after I should.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit a wall at some point here where it's like, you can't be that overpowered. You're already max powered. Now you have to get good. So we'll see how that goes.
Nice.
Cool. Luke?
I was on vacation all last week. We drove to the other side of Washington and into Idaho, which was cool. Never crossed the desert out here. That was great. And then I went back to work on Monday, and that was not as much fun. Same as Matt though, playing Elden Ring, and reading Moby Dick lately. I've been trying to read some more books lately.
Yeah,
specifically with paper and whatnot.
Yeah, I've been in the book mode too. In the last month, maybe we'll say 3 weeks, finished 2. So
I finished Warbreaker.
Ooh, how'd you like it?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, you gonna keep going?
I liked it a lot. I moved on to what's the first one of the light thingamajig?
Oh, you're doing Stormlight Archive?
Stormlight, yeah.
Oh my god.
Like the King's something?
So
what's it called?
Yeah, Way of Kings.
Way of Kings, yeah. I'm on that one right now.
Yeah, oh my god. Enjoy it. Stormlight Archive. Especially Way of Kings is so good.
It's going to go a lot slower because these are not the audio dramas. These are the unabridged. So
yeah, I mean,
this one's going to take a while. It's like 48 hours or something.
Yeah, but like once they start torturing Cal real good. You're just gonna love it. You're just like, let me get to the next chapter. I know they're gonna torture him some more. The one you just finished though, that there's some characters at the end and like that branch off now that are like wildly OP in the cause.
Oh, yeah.
They're like some of the most powerful people you can encounter. Especially the sword.
Yeah.
So, all right, I've finished in the last little while. Made to Stick. It's about how some ideas become memes or stuck in our heads and others don't. Guns, Germs, and Steel was a reread. I read it way back when, like 20 years ago, and decided it was time to do a reread. In a way, it helped me think about, if we want to make this D&D-ish, Guns, Germs, and Steel made me think about how you would write the history of a game world, like the movement of peoples and where tribes would still exist and where civilizations would have risen. Yeah, really interesting book. Really great read if you're a history nerd or just want to figure out why some nations or some places ended up becoming more powerful than others. And
classic. It's classic.
Yeah, it's a staple. It's like anyone who goes to university should read that book.
And I can vouch for this. I haven't read the book, but what I have done is gone to hockey a couple of times with Marty. And every time there's a couple of beers, he tells me about this book.
That's probably because I was reading it, so it was top of mind, right? And then I'm reading, which is really fascinating. It's called COVID-19: The Great Reset. So this is not. This is the World Economic Forum that meets at Davos every few years or every year, and these are like big wigs in business and technology and other areas of life that are not elected officials or politicians that basically talk about things. And this one, I haven't gotten through it yet, but at the beginning of it is basically saying, yeah, effectively they're saying, let's not waste a crisis to make change.
Yeah,
so
this is when change happens.
Yep, but very interesting. I kind of want to know what they're up to, what they're talking about. And part of the reason is Canadian, not to be political, but the Canadian Prime Minister has said during COVID a few things that were along these lines, like now is the time for change during this upheaval. And I'm now curious about what this group of people has decided for the rest of us. So
you're gonna get rid of the Queen. Finally, Canada, you can join us in true freedom from the crown.
Dude, the Queen is completely just a figurehead. She has from what I gather, the only authority that she has is that she gets to decide who sits in the Parliament, the House of Commons, to keep order. The person with the stick that goes, order, order. You know, it's basically you're the you're facilitating the meeting, and that's it. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, but if we all take her off our money, we don't have to talk about her or think about her ever again. You know.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is just me kind of poking around at, I guess, different things. I've got a massive backlog of books too, because it seems like computer games and iPad have taken over the slot where, you know, you would normally read, and I guess I'm at the end of my at the end of my media consumption where it's like, nah, it's time to go read some books. Yep.
Same.
Yep. So that's what's up with me. Let's do a recap of what happened last game. Last game was called The Mother of Smothering Arms. After spending some time with the Moon Tribe at the House of the Moon, the Jerks Emeritus travel to the ancient acropolis, once grand holy temple to the sleeping Titan. Inside, the Jerks face the reaching tendrils of the Mother of Smothering Arms, a horrible creature of nightmares that is reaching into the temple from beyond. And they are here to, I believe, try to collect the Mark of Iambulus, which will help them in their explorations of the realm of dreams. They were warned, however, that these tentacles multiply when battled, much like heads of a hydra, and we left off mid-combat with masses of tentacles reaching through the plains or the pearls to grab at those who have entered into this ancient place.
And just to recap, did we heed any of those warnings about killing them only makes this worse and you're a fool to rush into here? Or did we just try and ride a carriage down the steps?
We heard those warnings, but then we rode a carriage down the steps. Yeah.
Got it. Just wanted to make sure we're still on brand here.
Yeah, don't worry.
Right.
I will not feel guilty. Okay, so we're going to unpause. Yeah,
Thanks, Marty.
No problem. I've got this is Fortune Hex just as a reminder, or Hexes as a reminder. They might be running. Macronom. Where is Macronom? Macronom's hiding out on Zephyrus's. What do we do against their grabbers?
We just stay where we are, Mark. We don't do anything. We don't fight them. They will multiply. Zephyrus has done as charisma damage, so he's not as smooth as he normally is.
Okay. Macronom. Let's see what spells he's got running. He's got shield and long arms. He's a 7th level caster. Barkskin at 7th level is what, +3 or 4?
I guess it's 3.
Look. plus it's 2 plus 1 per 3 levels above third, so 3.
3. Zephyrus, do you wear a natural amulet armor? An amulet of natural armor?
That sounds accurate. I am checking.
Yeah, you've
I've got
Yes, I do.
Zephyrus,
Around the
with
neck,
a plus 3.
All right,
plus 3.
so Macronom's just going to cast Bark Skin on himself. Just in case, is what he says.
Sounds like a good idea.
Ah. My bumpers feel nubbly. Is what he complains about or exclaims after he casts the spell. Tech is full on trying to butcher this reaving tentacle thing before he gets reaved. He's in combat with it right in melee, so this is going to be a full round attack.
That's going to be brutal.
Yeah, if somebody wants to roll that up for me, if you've got it.
I need to do that for next time. I need to put together the combat sheet for Tech.
Okay, I'll get it then, or I can tell you what the numbers are.
Yeah, if you tell me what they are, I'll bring it up later too.
Buffs? Are there any buffs running?
We've got Haste and Good Hope. I don't think we have Bard Song up yet. We have Haste, Good Hope, and Prayer.
Okay, this is his combat routine when without the buffs and power attacking.
All right. 20 plus. That's
Should be 4 on all those. 2
yeah.
hope,
There we go.
1 haste, 1. What's the other one?
There's the first 2.
Nice.
That's not bad.
Yeah, he slices into the tentacles, no problem. Carving into them as he's got two handed blades.
25 and a nat 1.
25 is a miss.
25 is a miss, and is a 29 a miss?
29 is. Give me one moment.
Did he have fortune?
Oh,
Or only protected one?
29.
I think that's
29 is a
been
hit.
used. 29 is it, so that's not a critical. 2 times 1d20 plus 13. And a couple of 16s are not. So we got 2 hits.
Okay. His damage is 1d8 plus 26 plus all the buffs when he's power attacking. It's pretty gross. And this is Tech at 10th level. You guys are 13th, right?
12. So.
12? 12.
12? Okay.
Yeah. 35 and 37
60,
is
72.
72.
102. The tentacled mass is hanging on by a few strands. One more hit from Tech would probably cleave that mass of tentacles. There's a high-pitched screeching that is really grating for those in the telepathic bond. Zephyrus.
Zephyrus is... Let me think. If they're screaming in the telepathic bond, Zephyrus is probably not going to be thinking clearly at this point. Or is the screaming not overwhelming to him?
It's to the point where you guys have to yell in the telepathic bond to communicate that way.
Okay, but Zephyrus doesn't want to use the telepathic bond. He's going to use his mouth.
Okay.
And he is going to shout... He's trying to shout an instruction to everybody to not fight the tentacles. Let's just see if we can avoid the tentacles as much as possible. Get into this place, find what we're looking for, and get out. So he's trying to keep it short. He's not trying to explain. He's just saying, don't fight the tentacles. Let's just get in there, find what we're looking for, and get out.
All right. So yelling is a free action. You still have your full suite of actions for your turn. What are you doing?
He is going to try and do what he says we should do. is there a way for him to fly over these tentacles? So if, like, obviously the straightest line is just a straight line, but I don't know if he can fly over the tentacles or should he try or if he can.
They are kind of coming out of the space near the ceiling and the floor. You will you're pretty sure that you'll provoke an attack of opportunity by flying by them.
They haven't been attacking invisible people.
So, okay, so Zephyros is going to cast invisibility on himself first.
Okay.
Let me just make sure I have it to cast it. I'm pretty sure I have it. Yep, I have invisibility prepared, so Zephyros is going to cast invisibility on himself.
Is that regular invis?
I want to grab Mokranum with me, right? So I will do greater invis so that I can get Mokranum with me.
No, greater invis just doesn't go away if you attack. Mokranum is the only thing visible after you cast invisibility on yourself.
I just want to check. I thought I had another one. All right, I'll just do regular invis then. Okay.
Okay, so Mokranum is still visible. Everything you're carrying, including the door, turns invisible, and that's the second level invisibility spell you cast. That's what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, it's a second level invisibility spell, and then
Okay.
what I'll do is I'll do a spell recall and recall invisibility as well, so that I can cast it on Mokranum next round.
Got it. Okay, that's 3 actions, and I don't remember if a haste was running or not.
There is a
a haste running.
It is.
Who cast that?
Professor did outside before we came in.
Professor
It was the last thing
outside.
we did before we
Okay.
rushed in.
You're
Right,
12th
yeah.
level, so it's around 11 is haste one goes.
Which means Zephyros has a little bit of an extra move left that he could move, right?
No, you have an extra attack with haste. The extra action is an attack only.
Okay, not going to attack. Zephyros is not going to attack.
Okay, Thurgus, looks like this is a last round of Protective Luck, unless it got extended.
Protective luck ends on their turn because they triggered it. So I think we need to move it down
Okay.
by 1.
All right,
But
that's
yeah,
fine.
this is the last round. I'm out of range for any of the cackles.
All right, and there's a giant dragon made out of light that appeared. It doesn't seem to be attacking anything. It's roaring and kind of flapping its wings. I think the professor did say in his mind
great.
that it was an illusion.
Yeah. It's praying. It's saying some, I don't know, some probably Baishi pesos or something.
Okay.
Thurgus is mad. So
The
one action.
ghostly tentacles are still trying to grab at you.
5 foot stab.
Okay.
I really want to try it. Okay, I'm gonna spend.
These tentacles are much quieter than the other ones. The other ones are like a bunch of twisting rubber and slashing and sort of low murmuring. These ones are almost like a sucking wind.
I'm gonna spend 2 actions to refresh my warrior spirit, and this time instead of ghost touch, I'm gonna try phase locking. And what phase locking does is, for 1 round, a creature damaged by a phase locking weapon is affected as though by dimensional anchor for 1 round.
Yeah.
So my theory is, if I hit them with a phase locking weapon when they die, they might not be able to split. That's my theory.
It's like locked here. You've anchored its
And
corpse.
then, so that's 1 action to 5 foot step, 2 actions to activate warrior spirit. I'll spend my hasted attack to make a 1 last attack on this guy.
Yep.
And with my phase locking weapon, it's a +2 enhancement, so my enhancement bonus goes down by 1 from warrior spirit. I'm going to power attack.
Your blade has got this like this crackling energy on it that's like styrofoam rubbing against styrofoam. As it's you
I
cleave.
still have fortune though.
Yep.
Okay, well there you go. Pretty close to this
You
thing.
cleave the massive tentacles with your blade. It did not like this. How much damage do you do?
It'll take half.
Yep.
If I put this in parentheses, will it work?
No, there's
So-
no multiplying.
Okay.
Add and subtract only. So 29. 29 damage. This thing has 120 hit points. So you managed to sever the tentacles. and they fall down into the water sort of without a splash. And you did hear something like almost like a vacuum tube closing, and they disappear. Like the tentacles, you severed them completely, and the ghostly tentacles fell into the water and into the dark. You can't see them anymore, and they are gone.
Oh, figured it out. Oh, you're next. And I'll look at the next one. He assumes that it worked. He doesn't know if it did or not.
Okay. Tentacles.
That's it for me.
There are no tentacles appearing where Thurgus cleaved the ghostly tentacles.
Dude, Thurgus keeps trying to say he's not trying to be a smart brain wizard here, but he keeps doing smart brain wizard tricks.
Look, Thurgus uses warrior spirit. He has other bears that have died recently that give him lots of good ideas.
You look up at the stonework, like it's a vaulted chamber with multiple arches, kind of like a honeycomb. You can see where the tentacles were coming out of, and it's almost like reality is kind of bending, because stone normally doesn't bend like that, and you get the sense that something is pushing on the roof. Almost like it was a wooden roof and it was bending, but this is stone. There's a bit of shudder and a few pieces of loose rock fall from the roof. Yeah, you've definitely stopped something from happening. But
Nice.
the thing on the outside is pushing in where you severed the tentacle. Bukerbeck, is anyone injured? I feel strange, says Darian.
Oh
no! Bukerbeck's caught between tentacles that are all screwed up from Darian and then others that are reaving. Bukerbeck's gonna listen to Zephyros, I believe. Let's see if he has any way of turning invisible. You guys have been shouting about invisibility, so... Invisibility is not a cleric spell, nor is it a paladin spell. Does he have any items? Nope, you did not give him anything like that.
Whoops. He's just gonna tiptoe.
Total D.
No, well, he's going to cast the Grace spell to avoid AOs with movement.
Good one.
Good job, buddy.
It's a swift action, so it does eat up one of his actions, but he's got 2 left. With haste, Bukerbeck's speed is 60. So he's going to start making his way. He actually stops at this door and is going to attempt to push the door open. The door is not locked, but it looks like it is made for creatures that are much larger than him, are stone, and might not have been opened in a very long time. So he's going to make a strength check to push it open. Is Good Hope running?
Yes.
That's a +2.
As is prayer.
Nat 20, yeah, he pushes the door open. Thurgus, you're the one that has a chance to look around this room now that you're not being attacked. This is a low wall. You could fly into this area. Picture like arched windows that go up to about your waist. It's like a hallway with some openings in it. Not necessarily, the tentacles would definitely be able to reach in, but there are some solid spots in the wall that might suggest they guard different places. But Bukerbeck has just breached one of these side passageways. He looks over towards Thurgus and is wondering where the tentacles went that were attacking him. Pharisee.
I look back at him. Oh, good call. Run away while I kill everything.
This way, I found a door. There's no time right now for honor. Pharisee.
Check.
Yes, my
Go
queen.
defend Kukerbeck.
Keep away from these tentacles, my queen.
I will. I'll follow you.
This beast is very hungry.
Yes. And then I will cast. Oh, I already cast that on myself. Wait a minute. Here we go. I will cast Grand Destiny on the Professor. This lets the Professor, for the next 2 hours, twice, the Professor can get a +4 competence bonus to attack rolls, saves, skill checks, or caster level checks.
Nice.
Which you can use to break spell penetration or spell resistance, etc. I will start Bard Song as well.
It's got a great range on it too.
Yeah.
Okay. Like a weaver at a loom, you pull upon the strands of fate and give a potent spell to the Professor. Is that minutes per level or rounds?
10 minutes per level.
Nice. So
it's a good one.
Yeah, keep track of that, Professor. You've got 2 +4s. And then starts a Bard Song. What is the nature of your Bard Song?
This is with pipes. I'm piping some music.
Okay.
A jaunty tune, a haunting melody, actually.
Apparently everyone's a critic. You do see some of the eyes in the tentacles blinking harshly to the sound that you're making. Like
that's fair.
Like you're not making any friends. Luckily Tech is in front of it and actually slashing at it. You'd be pretty certain you're pretty certain this thing would start to try to look for you.
I might linger it next time.
Okay. Professor.
Fly speed is 100, right?
From a fly spell is 60. If you have haste, it would be 90.
90, that's it. Okay. One thing I did forget last game, we never did I don't think we did an incurable cholera check in one of the mornings.
I think you, with an item that I forgot you had, it's like 1 in 400 chance that you're gonna fail this. So it's like you're just a carrier of cholera. But go ahead, give me your check. You are in a Titan's temple, and there might be a reason why it may have panged you now. So give me your fortitude save against the disease.
I get a +2 enhancement bonus to Constitution, and as a immediate action 3 times a day, I can call upon the belt to reroll a saving throw made to resist disease or poison. The wearer must use the second roll even if it's worse. Okay, and my fortitude is
currently +15, I think.
Yeah, so it should be +60 or 17 then.
Yeah, so it's don't roll 1. Yeah, okay. You, for whatever reason, you saw a little bit of a flash from your belt. There was a little pang in your gut and a little flash from your belt, and yeah, everything's all right.
I can't place it specific. Why does the Professor have cholera again?
Yeah. Is
it a long time ago? Did I miss? Am I just misremembering?
That was he made a dark bargain of some sort.
Well, what happened is Kranitos Moors chose me as his champion, and then I took aggressive actions against one of his other creatures or champions. And as a way to punish me, he gave me incurable cholera. But I think he knew I had the belt. I think he's just like, I got to do something, slap on the wrist. You're cool, guy.
It's an abusive relationship.
He appreciated, I think, that I mind controlled the thing at the end and tried to get it to run away. I was trying to save it, so he's kind of I'll go easy on him,
He seemed very appreciative.
Yeah. So anyway,
How's the telepathic
yeah, that's
noise right now?
yeah, exactly.
There was a strange amount of static when Thurgus did what he did last action, and there's now just horrible screeching coming from the telepathic bond. The creature seems to be in pain, with whatever pain and anger is what you're getting. The telepathic bond is it's not pulsing like it did last time, but it seems to be building up again.
Does it feel like it is making me go insane? Like, if I'm not actively using it, does it feel like it's pushing my mind to the limits? It's a feeling I'm familiar with.
This is for someone who is studied and wanted to touch the unfathomable. This is both terrifying and exhilarating for the professor.
I don't think I can dismiss it, guys. I think I gotta keep it up.
For the professor, there might actually be a little bit of language in there, which would be completely fascinating.
I gotta keep it up. It's fine. Okay, I am going to for swift action.
You could try to reach out to it.
Ooh, that is interesting. What kind of action would that be?
I would make that a move action to try to talk to it.
All right, first things first, I will swift action, spell recall, greater invisibility. I will then move action 90 into the chamber, and then
okay, you are flying above a dark pool of water that is being displaced a little bit as some of the tentacles that are fighting Tech have come out of the water. This roiling chaos in your head from this quasi-language of this creature, this alien mind that is just howling and chattering and clicking away in the telepathic bond. Give me a wisdom check.
I was really hoping that last word was going to be saved.
Wisdom check. All right, my wisdom is +1.
Add 2 for Good Hope. Add.
Yep.
And 1 luck bonus from prayer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got above 10. This would be a dangerous thing to do. Your original question was, do I feel like I'm going insane? There could be insanity, or there could be knowledge, or you might actually be able to talk to it, but insanity might not be mutually exclusive.
I'm reaching out through the bond and attempting to make contact. I can't not reach out, guys. This is my life's pursuit here.
Fair enough.
I mean, the facepalm is from Max the player, not from Thurgus, the person who said he was the party.
It's all right. If I go insane, I got like a couple of rounds before it really sets in. So
yeah, respect to Luke, disrespect to the professor.
Oh right,
I'm
true. You've got the ability to ignore a status condition for a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. First, opening up your kind of shielded mind is like a sandblaster turned on too high against very thin paint. Whatever hope there is to go backwards has just been stripped away as your mind is laid bare. The raw alien thoughts bombard you from all directions at once and seemingly from within. I need you to make a will save.
Do we need to make will saves as we're sort of bonded to this psychopath?
No, but...
Okay.
And then I also want to know what spells you have up that are currently protecting your mind.
I don't think anything's protecting my mind. I have like a ring that stops people from reading. Ring of mind shielding. I'm immune to detect thoughts, discern lies, and magical alignment detection.
Is that a separate item, or is that a secondary or tertiary power as part of another item?
It's a ring on my left hand.
Okay.
That, I believe, is the only thing protecting my mind, and then you need a will save.
Yep, so right now that ring is humming, and it is your left hand your skeletal hand?
I don't know if we've ever specified. Let me see if it says down here. It would make sense with like left-hand path magic.
Your grandfather's old arcane bond ring is on your left pinky. So yeah, your left hand. Your left hand is where the
the power hand. Come on.
Okay, the ring is now humming like it's under an insane amount of stress and is now spinning on your finger. You managed to look down dumbly at your ring. This will save is pretty goddamn high.
Is there anything rolling right now, like fortune, protective luck?
Good hope.
Good hope.
Good hope is running.
2.
That's a +2. You can blow a charge of Grand Destiny for another +4.
And
I'm gonna do that.
prayer offers you a +1 luck bonus.
+1. Yeah. So you've got +7 on top of your base.
And Luke is sitting on 1 hero point.
And I'm gonna,
which could give you a
use
+8
that beforehand. +8. I'm gonna do that as well.
Okay.
Is there anything else we can do to help the guy here?
I think he's got a +25 right now.
11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 26, I think.
No hard feelings, but I hope you fail.
It would be.
All right, here we go. Are we ready?
Yep.
+26.
Yes, and the hell out of that.
Yeah, draw back the curtain. Let's see.
41.
For a moment, you thought your mind was going to be permanently ripped apart. You thought that you would never recover. It's bombarding you all at once. The words confusion, insanity, like you're trying to grasp what it is. This could have made you permanently insane. This could have feeble-minded you.
Nice.
But you made your save, and now you're calm. The screeching has now ended. And you guys can hear the lapping of water. An ocean, maybe? Just water, though. Water, wind, and waves. Professor, you're not here anymore. You guys notice that his body just kind of goes limp as he stares up. Like his face goes taut, but his body goes limp as he stares kind of at an awkward angle. His body assuming some sort of weird pose, all at odd angles, and he's just sort of floating and orbiting.
And only those of us with C and Viz can see you, right?
Yep.
The tentacles have stopped attacking. At this point in time, Professor, your action is done, and you can hear Darian turn into a sword and clatter to the ground.
Nice.
Is the sword invisible?
The sword is invisible. You can cast spells on things, so the tentacles are slowly pulling back. You know the professor is
Diplomacy.
in the, you know the professor is in the telepathic bond, but he's only broadcasting the sounds of lapping water.
Do you get like bars of color? And, like, please stand by.
Is it water or is it
Elevator
blood?
music.
Can you tell from the lapping sounds? Because it might just be blood lapping, you know?
Mockernam's not doing anything on his next round. The tentacles are retreating. Tech looks towards Pharisee.
No.
He takes a step back, and then listens to you. Over here, my queen. And goes and guards
Thank you,
Booperbeck.
Tech.
Zephyros?
Zephyros is going to cast invisibility on Mocranum. He's not taking any chances.
Okay. One of the tentacles kind of flicks, like it responds to noise as they're receding.
And I think as a spell recall, Zephyros will recall invisibility again in case we need it. And then he still has a move action left, right?
Yep.
No, that was
No, that was it.
Oh, no, not if you
cast,
recall.
recall. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Mocranum is now invisible.
But Mocranum is now invisible.
Nice.
Tentacles. The pushing on that spot kind of is receding, but nothing is poking its way through Thurgus. The tentacles are all slowly receding back into the planes, like they are returning to the mother of Smothering Arms.
That Gen 1 reading tentacle there is badly damaged, Thurgus.
However, there is a single small cord-like tendril that is dropping towards the professor. It just looks like a rope. It looks like maybe it's about a coin in thickness. There seems to be an end to it, like a bulb, that is starting to crack open as it approaches the professor. So as one action, the tentacle goes...
the tentacles go after me, right?
Did I miss Thurgus? Yeah, I missed Thurgus. Sorry. The tentacles are still there then. What are you doing? They're starting to recede.
And the professor's just floating there?
Professor's just floating.
I've seen Viz. I'm gonna...
Yeah, you would have probably seen me fly into the room and then, like, go into a trance or
Yeah,
something. And then you would have heard the waves laughing.
To be honest, I'll just go on delay since we already kind of described all this tentacle stuff. So
Sure.
I'll act after the tentacles if that's cool.
Yep. I'll move you to...
I'll come out of delay basically after they start going.
All right, first action. Yeah, the tentacles are moving and then receding back to wherever this beast is. Then the independent tentacle pierces through the planes, drops from the roof like a rope being lowered down. The bulb at the end begins to split, and it's making a concave, grasping hand about the size of a skull. It gently, like some sort of perverse flower, kind of goes over the professor's head, and is now latched on over, like two of the leaves of the pod have latched on over his eyes, over his ears, and kind of into the back of its head. Thurgus, you're close enough, and I guess Pharisee, you do notice that one of the leaves is not a leaf. It's more like a scorpion stinger, and that thing clicks and goes into the back of the professor's head, kind of at the base of the skull where it meets the spinal column. And now the professor, his body kind of jangles because of that, but then calms down at the end of its turn. So 1, 2, and 3. Do you have freedom of movement up, Professor? That's about the only thing that would have stopped this.
Don't think so.
Okay.
I don't cast it on myself, and nobody casts it on me.
Actually, it's trying to grapple the professor, right? Well, but the professor is kind of non-responsive.
Yeah, the professor
He's a
is...
willing target.
The
He's
professor...
Yeah.
You can hear waves coming from the professor, and
Yeah.
almost like a staticky jolt when the pincer hit the professor in the back of the head.
Yeah.
You are now grappled, Professor. Thurgus,
Got it.
what are you
I'll
doing?
come out of delay.
Okay.
Yep. I will take one move action up to here. I will stop raging, so I'm going to be fatigued for the next 4 rounds.
And you're flying?
I am flying.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Fatigued. And I'll yell at Ferris, say, what am we doing? Do I need to cut him down?
He kind of jangles a little bit.
It would make the creature angry. Let's give the professor just a moment to see if he can win this mental contest.
Okay.
Are you guys talking through the telepathic bond, or using your mouths?
Yelling out loud.
Using my mouth, yeah.
I was told not to use the telepathic bond. Then in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ready an action to... I don't know about this whole grappling thing, and I don't know that freedom of movement would work, so I'll ready an action to attack this cord if someone tells me, get the professor out of there.
Okay. Bukerbeck. He's just going to move to make space for everyone else, and he's looking out. What? What is the professor doing? Oh, he's getting himself into trouble.
He's doing dumb professor shit.
Where is he? Yeah, Bukerbeck doesn't have CMViz up, so he's just...
Oh, he's like standing right next to me.
Is he injured?
No more than usual.
Ferris.
I mean, it's mostly his soul.
He's a bit touched in the head, if you know what I mean. More ways than one, I suppose.
See what evil eye requires. It's just a supernatural ability. I am going to evil eye the tendril.
The one that's got the professor? Okay.
Yeah. This is a mind affecting effect. So if it is immune to mind affecting, it's immune to this.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to do this. Boop, 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 boop. And then I'm just going to delete. I'm holding down one key.
And then I'm going to go ahead.
Your evil eye just slips off of it. It just doesn't affect it.
Oh, interesting. Not a lot I can necessarily do on that. I am going to linger Bard Song.
Okay.
No, I'm going to continue Bard Song so that I can potentially finale something here.
Yeah, the angry tentacles are no longer no longer criticizing your work. Yeah, and you can fly directly into these alcoves.
I'm going to fly directly over to that one.
Hey.
Actually, my movement is 70, so I'm going to fly to here.
All right. After Pharisee piping away is the professor. I just want to know
the evil eye didn't work on it.
I want to know how long the professor's in here before describing what the professor's going through. Right now, he is attached to a cord from your perspective. And you can hear the ocean. And
It's a good time to find our goal.
Darian's a sword. Makronom, top of the next round. I think I heard him fall. And he's grasping around. He basically flies up to where he saw Darian last with his long arms and his tentacles. He's reaching around. He spends the round searching that area. He finds the sword and I've got him. Is he for eating or for keeping?
No, he's for holding.
Oh, okay. I don't
I'm
know.
not allowed to put him in my scabbard. You're not allowed to keep him for keeping.
Okay. I don't know how to use a sword. You can hear it clinging and clanging a little bit. both Makronom and the Enser are invisible. For those with C and Viz, you could just see him kind of like trying to... He's banging the sword around and eventually holds it up with a couple of tentacles awkwardly.
Can you bring it to me, Makronom?
All right. Oh, okay. So he moved, searched, picked up. He's done. Tech, Protective Luck, coming down. He's just moving to where he hears the queen.
Open as many doors as you can.
Okay, he moves to this door. He tries to heave it open quickly and does. The room beyond is filled with light.
Oh, sweet.
That's
It's
nice.
like Pulp Fiction door here, like
The light,
open
the
up
light, the light
briefcase?
is a bluish light that seems to be emanating from a well-like structure at the center of the room. The room itself is dominated by crumbling and cracking fresco paintings of what look like titans and other big beasts.
Okay.
There is, I guess that's pretty much. There is a strange well.
And we're looking for a place that we can, like a mask that we can put our face on.
Yep.
I think.
He moves, opens the door, and then he moves again, and he moves across to one of the other smaller doors.
Sounds good.
The tentacles.
Nah, you skipped Zephyrus.
Oh, Zephyrus, sorry.
Zephyrus is going to move right up to Makronom and just say, "Give me the sword there." And then take the sword from Makronom.
Sure.
And then tell Makronom something along the lines of, "We should probably catch up with the rest of the group. We don't want to get left behind.
Okay.
Just follow Thurgus."
Okay.
Because Makronom can't see me, can't see the sword, can't see anybody but Thurgus.
Yeah, he doesn't have see and vis up, and let me just double check his senses.
Or you can get on my shoulder and just fly with me.
He has dark vision, so yeah, he can see in the dark. Your last action, you can pick him up, and he'll stick on you.
Yeah, the Ferris will do that.
Okay.
Here, I'll carry you.
I'll be up. The tentacles. I think I need to know what the professor's doing. All right, Professor, you are standing ankle deep in some very warm water. It's almost the same temperature as the air, so it's kind of hard to sense it. Your feet are buried. You could feel your toes buried in a coarse sand. You're in a very dark place. There is a slight bit of light where there's a reflection against the water as it's coming in along this beach. There is not but there are no lights in the sky, and you could barely see your hand in front of you. The ring Thurgus on the outside is still spinning madly on Henry's hand. Like it seems to be under a titanic amount of force.
And I don't see any creature. I just see kind of the light and the waves, and just feel the water.
Yeah, what do you do?
Look around. And I think, hello, tentacle monster. It is I, the traveler from beyond. Come to make your acquaintance.
Your words leave your mouth in waves. It's almost really confusing because you hear your own thoughts a split second before they leave your mouth. It's almost like the feedback on a microphone.
Can I use an action to do knowledge planes, I guess? And try and understand where I am, I guess. What has happened to me is I feel like it's a planes thing given the creature, or maybe an arcana thing.
Yeah, you're looking around to try to figure out where you are. Yeah, give me your knowledge planes.
I I don't do any of the bonuses help skill checks right now. Any
Sure.
of the, like,
Yeah,
prayer...
there are spells running on you, and you're here enough to take benefit of them.
Prayer and Good Hope, I think, do. Let's see
That's
here.
a +2 and a +1. I think probably that's it.
All skills. Maybe not.
I feel like a +2 and a +1 from prayer and Good Hope. Does Bard Song work on skill checks? Probably not.
Not this type of Bard Song. Just give me a roll. It's.
Yep. 41.
41's pretty good. You have visited mindscapes and dreamscapes before. This place is a construct, a very realistic one. That you think that this might be a memory.
Ooh.
There's something inherently primordial about the place where you're standing.
Oh, interesting. When I spoke outside or out loud and like through my mind did.
You would call this place the world without light.
So
when you say that, it's almost like eons begin to go by. There are some weird lights, but there's no true light in the sky. And at one point, your toes feel little worm things wiggling, like these little tiny, maybe inch-long, kind of bent elbow pasta shaped things that just sort of wiggle back and forth. It's very strange. You don't like the way that they feel. Something is coming closer in the primordial dark.
Okay, so I've used a free action to talk. I use one action to do a skill check. I will do a free action to quick draw something out of my pocket. Let's just go with the blank book I use for my whatever it's called, Pagebound Epiphany, and I will use my last two actions to cast light on it, and I will hold the light into
so you
the world without light.
You go to reach at your belt, and you realize that you are but as you were born and completely naked.
Is there anything around me? Could I?
Your left hand is a hand of rot. Your flesh seems to be dripping away, and these little elbow-shaped, little sluggish things seem to be feasting off of your hand, or the flesh that is dropping from it.
Can I touch some of the dropping flesh as it becomes an object when it leaves my body?
Yeah, so you try to grab some of it, and you can grab it. It seems to come off of your hand and go into the water. It's being eaten by the little slugs. You could feel the slugs moving against your toes and around your legs. You do see one that's actually climbing up your leg.
Mm-hmm.
This little tiny thing. It's kind of white like a larva. It's got a little end, like a little opening at the end of it, kind of like a little tripart mouth.
Okay.
You seem to be now racked with pangs of hunger. Can you give me a will save if you don't want to eat the tiny larvae?
I don't know. That's a good question. Do I want to eat it? All right. 1d20 plus will was, I think, plus 11 plus 2 plus 1 for Good Hope and Prayer. And I think that was it. Let me just double check again. Fortune. Does fortune or protective luck work here? I can never remember.
They're both down.
Oh, they're both down. Okay. I think, yeah, just that. 25.
Okay. You can't help yourself. You see the thing, and it is for eating, and you take it and you swallow it. Thurgus, at this point in time,
That's fair.
you saw the professor jangle like kind of violently on the end of the cord, and I need a perception check from Thurgus because he's right next to the professor in this in this place. And the DC will be 40 to notice something very subtle and very small in this thrashing.
It's only 34.
Okay. All right, whatever is happening, it seems like the rope just pulls itself away from the professor like it was an umbilical cord, like no longer needed. It's kind of like rotting as it's disappearing into the plains, and the professor has just been violently disconnected from the leaf-like thing that is now rotting on his face. He's kind of doing a little bit of a wiggle.
Pharisee, what am I gonna do?
It looks like it's leaving on its own. Probably good. Bring the professor out of the water. He might drown.
If he's just floating there, then I'll try and grab him and bring him back.
Yeah,
There's a magic well over here.
You can see invisible things, Thurgus?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You grab the professor. Yeah, he's got blood that's kind of coming out of his ears, around his eyes where these suckers had
I think
kinda
Bookerback will want to look.
dug into his soft flesh, and a little bit of blood trickling out of his right nostril.
Yeah, I'll bring him over.
Okay. He's here. Okay, I've got him. Bookerbeck's kind of pulling him into the hallway and sits him down. Can you add something at the top of your character sheet, Professor?
We got a new one?
The Mother of Smothering Arms implant.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Should I add anything else there yet?
Nope.
Okay. Just to recap, there's a forgotten geese that is contingent. Bring a living metallic dragon to the altar of Jerks, where Ashadalon is hiding in the lair of the smoking butte.
Yep.
There's incurable cholera received from Karanatos Moors for disobeying his command and destroying the giant red reaver. Becomes active in 7 days, yada,
Yep.
yada, yada.
Yep.
Now there's the Mother of Smothering Arms implant. I also do believe that my soul is pledged to Balbodnothep from that time I touched his temple when Thurgus went to go and do the street fight in the basement of the bar. And soul is also pledged in bondage to the Trifold Pact.
Naturally.
I think that recaps it.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what happens there.
Okay. Thurgus, you pick up the professor. Yeah, that you actually, the thing rotted so quickly that there was about 20 feet of it that just fell off into the water. It slapped behind you. Yeah, and the
I don't take an AOL.
yeah, the tentacle cord is now gone, having served its purpose, perhaps. Bookerbeck's trying to tend you, Henry. He will let out a. No one's actually got any hit point damage. He's gonna just cast a spell from a wand, just to cure some of the superficial damage. Hey, He should be all right. He's hard to see. I don't feel any blood coming from anywhere.
I don't see much blood. I am going to cast Analyze Dreamer and look at the professor and see if there's any lingering magic on him. I'm guessing it would not detect this larval thing, but it seems like a thing to do. And then I'm going to start following Tech around as we open up doors and stare at things like that. Well,
there is a lingering and rapidly evaporating moderate divination effect around the professor. In addition to some of the other magics that he casts, you see one of the auras is dissolving quickly, like it was just there and kind of going away.
Can I get the caster level on it?
Oh,
Analyze Dreamer is like detect magic with all the rounds.
give me a second. You learn each of the spell, it's an effect and caster level. So there was an effect that mimicked telepathy.
Okay.
And the caster level of the telepathy was 24.
Okay.
I love how your voice went up there. Oh, we're fucked.
That's great. We'll furnish later.
And it seemed to go away at the rate it was disappearing with your analyzed Dwemer. You're pretty sure that something was talking to the professor.
Yeah.
And it was likely
Something was communicating with him.
Yep.
Something very powerful.
Most likely.
I must continue searching. We must find what we came here for. That is a cat toy. I am going to move it out of the room.
The telepathic bond that the professor cast is still running. It's almost like you guys have quieted a little bit. There's occasionally like a thought from one of you, like, what the hell just happened? Or are you gross? Or that sort of thing. And there's just this kind of quiet crackle of static. Like the static's still kind of there a little bit, but it's not aggressive like it was. Kind of like a record when it reaches the end and does that continuous sort of kind of crunching noise. I'm sure there's a technical term for a record that is at the end of its play. All right, we'll finish out the round, which is the professor. The professor is give me a fort save.
Here we go. For same bonuses to saving throws, I'm guessing. So plus 10, plus 1, plus 2. 27.
All right. The professor's eyes sputter open. It was like you were holding your breath too long, Professor, and you're gasping for air.
Did I save us? Am I a hero, Bukovac?
You'll have to ask the others.
Nope, I killed one of them with my super awesome phase-locking sword, and the rest of them ran away like cowards.
Oh,
You just passed out like a little bitch. What are you fucking doing?
Zephyros, are you floating over?
Zephyros was floating over, yeah.
Okay.
Where are we? Why am I on the ground?
Like I said 2 seconds ago, you passed out like a fucking bitch. You gotta get it
I
together,
heard you.
Professor. And
I
I
heard you,
pick him up and shake him.
Do it! Stop that! Put me down! I've just had serious trauma.
Do you remember the trauma?
Oh, last time was a little tentacle thing touched your face.
Yes, well, I'll reach back to the back of my head and feel back there.
You do. There's a little bit of blood, but there's no wound.
I seem fine.
Your neck feels a little bit sore. You also feel like maybe you've got a bit of a head cold or maybe some allergic reaction to what has just happened. Your eyes are watering a little bit. Your nasal
That's
cavity.
just the cholera.
Your nasal cavity is a little clogged at this moment. You start thinking back. The presence wants to do it again. The thing, it was trying to... At first you were standing in the ocean and it was completely quiet, and then it was teeming with this strange life. And you get the sense that it wants to do it again. Like that's
and
its,
I remember
that's its like that is its main drive. Somehow through all the insanity, it wants to do it again.
do I remember eating the primordial creature?
Yeah, you were hungry.
Do I
Makes
feel full? Do I like feel any different from eating the creature?
No, it was just tiny, like something like that.
And do I still
You still feel a little bit like awkward and sick, and your head's buzzing a little bit, and like you just went through an amazing and awful experience. You're clammy. You've got a bit of a chill.
Do I still feel it in the telepathic bond? I guess I feel it as a low underlying static then?
Yeah, the static, with all of your intelligence, you know the static may simply be, and I'm competing with typing. I don't know who's jamming away.
That's you, man.
It's Matt.
Yeah. Your typing is super loud. What was the question again? Sorry.
The static. Do I sense the
static,
thing's
right.
presence in the telepathic bond?
No, you don't. You figure out with your high knowledge planes that the static is because this place is like gnomish cheese through the planes. The tentacles are leaving tenuous bonds to other places here. The creature is close, but you don't sense it here. It's like you've satisfied it for now because it wants to do it again.
Nice. That's creepy and weird and violating. Well, for whatever reason, the tentacles have left us alone. What are you all fussing over me for? Have we found the mask with the blessing?
All right. Pharisee has fluttered into a room. You can see what looked like this room may not have fared very well with the frescoes surviving the ages. A lot of them are peeled. The most you can guess that there are many titans, and they were doing things. This might be. If it was restored somehow, you may glean some sort of information about the Titans themselves. This door is just well carved. It's heavy. Tech is struggling with it. There is an inscription above this door, however.
I still have comp languages up.
You have comp languages up. The name of the chamber in Titan is called the Chamber of Truth Tucked Away.
The Chamber of Truth tucked away, this says. I'll say it in the telepathic bond. I'll glance at the glance down the well also with my analyzed reamer running.
Yeah, the well is not a well with water in it. It is it is an empty shaft filled with magic, and there is a contingent, permanent-ish featherfall as well as a contingent, reoccurring levitate. The shaft does lead down a good 100 feet.
Ah, the shaft, you can fall down and rise up, apparently. Maybe you have to know certain words, but it's permanent effects. Fairly powerful.
Perhaps that is where we're destined. Quickly now. Let's
I'm
check the
going to
rest
keep
of these
exploring
doors.
for the moment.
Yes. Bookerbeck, help me up, please.
Yeah, Bookerbeck's kind of guiding you into the room. What are the guys doing on the outside? Thurgus, Zephyrus.
I'm gonna follow around Pharisee. If she's gonna explore, I'm gonna protect her.
Zephyrus is also going to follow around Pharisee at this point. He's a bit freaked out about what the professor just did, all things considering.
It's just the professor. The professor does have a tendency to just sort of brush these things off, whereas
In my mind, the professor didn't do
good,
anything.
dude.
right.
He's good.
He
fine.
just stood
Yeah,
there
he
for
just
a
like
while.
wigged
He
out.
freezes
some
up all the
tentacle
time.
thing.
And then
Yeah.
Thurgus, are you following or are you exploring
I'm
elsewhere?
following Pharisee.
Okay. All right. Okay. Tech eventually forces this door open, revealing a hallway that leads to another carved door.
Yeah, we'll open the Chamber of Truth. The Chamber of Truth tucked away.
Okay. Thurgus is able to open these doors quite easily with his great strength and size.
Yes, right.
This chamber is not very big, relatively speaking, but it is filled with frescoes that have seemingly survived much more intact than others. And you see this beautiful scene written across several of the walls, or all four of the walls. It looks like a bunch of titanic beings being flung from somewhere or being cast down.
It's in good shape after all this time. I'll cast my gaze upon it. Is it magic?
There is some tincture or perhaps some varnish that was used to protect this. And you do see what has not survived very much is a big moldering pile of manuscripts or books that have been worm-eaten, perhaps water damaged, and they're kind of in a moldering pile in the center of the room. You're catching bits and pieces of script in the moldering pile that may have survived. Give me a knowledge history if you have it. An appraise check would be another thing. This place is ancient and people once visited here quite commonly. So you, as a bard, you might actually know what this fresco is called.
I'll take 10. 33.
Okay. We're going to make this a stacking skill check. It may be tied with religious significance. This was or is a temple to Iambulus, and he is part of a family of titans.
That sounds fun.
Yep.
Should I make that check? Can I make that check then as well?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take 10 on that. 35.
All right. You know the name of this fresco. In fact,
Bard the hell out of this.
yeah, you know the name of the fresco. It's called simply "The Fall of the Titans," and it is depicting a family of titans being punished after losing some war. And you've pieced together parts of the story through visiting Baba Yaga's hut and other places that the Titans lost this battle against a race of gods.
Do I see Desnovia?
This is the fall of the Titans.
Yes. Yeah.
It's here.
Thurgus goes in and
Or Poseidon?
you're looking around. You don't see the figures that are casting them down, Let's see.
Some ruined books as well.
You do see off in the distance, almost like she's a prisoner that was being pulled down with the Titans. You see a depiction of Desnobia. Thurgus.
Oh, hey, I met her.
Thurgus.
I point.
Yeah, Thurgus definitely recognizes this really tiny, like in the background. It was almost like hidden amongst the clouds, but you do see her trying to leave as she's being pulled down by one chain that turns into three.
She was crying a lot more than that picture shows, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that little bit over there, that's Desnobia.
Do we know, can we do a knowledge history check to know what the significance of the three chains are?
Sure. You start following where the chain is. It seems to disappear a little bit, and then it goes over to three Titans that are standing really, really close together.
Kronos, Thanatos, and
Kernatos, Moors.
Mora.
I bet there's a fragment of the professor saw in this painting too. He seems to hand it out.
Ceres, Moros, and Thanatos, the Titan that you now know as the three-headed Titan Kernatos Mors, the Destroyer, seems to just simply be dragging a chain behind him.
Ah, that fellow from the Desert
All
Windstorm.
three of them are almost like he's relishing in this, or perhaps he's being tossed down. But he's definitely taking with his other hands. He seems to be smiting temples, or like he left destruction in his wake, and this is one of his I don't know, prizes that he refuses to let go of.
I think I am going to continue following tech because I've got limited rounds on this analyzed dreamer.
From your knowledge religion, you know that there are too many Titans in this painting, whereas there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Titan deities in the pantheon. Like there are dozens and dozens of Titans
Are there more Titans than we know about then? Interesting.
Yeah, it is curious.
5 and 2 more for Kronos Moors, and that's still quite a few more Titans.
I mean, I found, I met a lot of gods and some Titans and, whatnot. I'm sure there's a bunch more that I haven't met.
There's still
You've only
time,
met
Fergus.
The one, right? I guess the second one, the water one. Where's he on this painting?
The water one?
Poseidon, right?
You talking about Poseidon?
Ah, he's one of the ones casting them out, isn't he?
Yes, where is he now, Thurgus? Come, you've seen him, right? Point him out to us.
Well, I saw a statue, didn't really talk too much. And do I see him on the painting?
There is a bunch of figures that are kind of blurred out that seem to be standing atop a cloud. There might be the silhouette of some city in the clouds. And you do see one of them has like the silhouette of a crown that you think might be. You see the trident. You're pretty sure that's Poseidon.
Pretty sure it's this one. He had, that fork thing that he was fighting with.
He's standing to the right of the most imposing of the three but small figures standing aloft. You're pretty sure that these are the Olympians looking down upon the Titans.
It's definitely this guy, for sure.
Well, you can add religious historian and art critic then to your list. I hear anti-tentacle dimensional magical knowledge is a new facet of Thurgus's education these days. Very good, Thurgus. We'll get a PhD on there before you know it. Come now, much more to explore, right?
PH what?
All right, so Farisay looks like she's in a hurry because she's got a round per level spell running, so she wants to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
check dislodges this door. There was some crumbling rock that was in the way. To the south, you see, with great age or shifts in the earth, that passage has been filled in with rubble or has collapsed, and the collapse happened long ago.
That makes sense.
There is a hallway.
Not that way, then.
There is a hallway to the north that does contain a double set of
we'll take it.
Doors.
The door's on the right.
All right. Kind of sneaking your way along. Zephyrus, you're following? Yeah. The fresco's following you.
That's a sticky fresco.
This chamber has script above it that says the Chamber of the Ascendant Father.
Chamber of the Ascendant Father. Perhaps that's our man.
Cracking these doors open, you find a room that thankfully someone wise enough or the magics were strong enough to survive the ages to preserve yet another grand scene. This fresco, there are some littered potsherds and some actually large amphora pots that are kind of lined up along the sides. It looks like some of them have crumbled with age. Bits of grain and perhaps ancient wine has spilled out of them like they were offerings. This particular fresco shows some titanic beings where one of the titans looks like he's eviscerating a titan man that has been downed. If you could give me again a knowledge history and a knowledge religion.
We'll do 33 and 35 for those.
Okay. You've heard of these frescoes. You've just never seen them. You may have heard description. You may have read descriptions of these frescoes.
Yeah.
This one is called "The Mutilation of Uranus" by Kronos, and this is some primordial deity who is being cut open in the man parts, which resulted in the birth of that family of titans that's in the other room.
That does not sound like fun.
This is the creation of the titans themselves, and it looks like this act by the head of their family, whose name is Kronos. Strange that you don't worship him, or that nobody worships him, but...
Oh, wow, this explains a lot. There's probably not a lot of gods. See, I thought if you had, like, ultimate power, there'd be a lot of gods hanging around the universe, right? But if you got to do that as part of the job, hard pass. No godhood for me. I think I'll do something else.
Fair say, you're starting to wonder if this was a temple, or more like a museum, or a place where somebody honored.
Is this Olympian or Titanic or something after?
Wait, this is how they made them? Maybe we were meant to come here so we could help the professor. Here, professor, drop your trousers. I'll help you out, bro. I think we figured it out. This is how we make you a god. And I take out the Eclipse Bringer.
He's already got
knife.
children.
I'll lift open my shirt and open the flesh grafter's bag and like proffer it to him.
Oh, you're already cut open, mate. It worked then.
No, we don't know yet. Maybe it takes time.
Now I suppose. Although I think that's a little high. This guy's got, he's got it in the parts. That's your stomach.
Yeah, I suppose
Let's
we did
try
this
up,
then, yes.
up that way and then hop down the well.
Okay.
Come now, there'll be time for informal surgeries later.
The crackle of the static doesn't really change, kind of suggesting that the beast isn't popping its head through the plains. You might have some more time. This other route is also has been collapsed and water damaged for quite some time. You open up some doors, make your way across this observation hallway, and then do find yourselves into a strange shrine-like area that is called the Chamber of the Birth of Dreams.
The Chamber of the Birth of Dreams. This sounds promising.
The chamber has 3 sections to it. Immediately, Pharisee holds everyone up because you think that this is hollowed ground. And I would say it is hollow ground to a mixture of chaos and evil.
This is hallowed to chaos, which is great, but also evil.
There are 3 overlapping areas. One of which is aligned neutral evil. One of which is aligned chaotic evil. The other one is aligned chaotic neutral.
3 areas sounds a lot like those 3 gods that the professor is so fond of.
And the caster levels, as I think by this point in time, your analyzed Dwemer is dwindling because it's a round per level spell.
That makes sense.
The caster levels of these 3 overlapping unhallowed effects are 20.
Powerful, but not as powerful as that invading creature. Something that casts these hallows, but very powerful.
Yeah, based on what you're
Perhaps
saying.
the Titan itself.
Yeah, based on what you were saying, both are more powerful than us.
Which spot's the chaotic neutral one? That sounds like me.
The spot ahead looks like there is a fresco, but this one seems to be more of a story. Or maybe it's a combination of the one from the right and the one from the left to create the one in the middle.
The
Chaos,
chaotic
it's
evil.
Evil to the left, chaos to the right. Both in the center?
Evil evil to the left, chaotic evil to the right, and chaotic neutral in the center.
Oh yeah, I'll step up.
Chaotic
to
neutral in the center.
Okay.
Oh yes, the center seems like the place for me.
You've walked into the unholy ground, and you immediately push your way towards the shrine of Iambulus. To either side, once you're in that middle area, you can see that to the left there is the shrine to the goddess of night named Nyx, and there's a beautiful depiction of her and her midnight cloak kind of trailing across the entire room. The 3-headed titan of Keratos Moors seems to be standing there. It looks like he's in shock and awe of the goddess Nyx, and the story progresses in a way that, with your 30s, Pharisee, you understand what this fresco is actually showing you. I guess everyone needs a mom and a dad. The Titan Iambulus was born to Nyx, fathered by Keratos Moors.
Interesting. Nyx is the mother of dreams, and Keratos Moor the father.
The Titan god of destruction and doom begot a son with Nyx, the goddess of darkness, night, and that of beyond, to produce the dreaming god.
Dreams, I suppose, are just doom in the night, so there you go. Is there a place
Thurgus, Thurgus, when you kind of went closer to have a look, you actually you are watching You think you are watching your first dream.
Was this the dream about the spear falling down?
No, this dream is... You're bobbing around in a river of blood.
Oh, the one where I met Christopher.
The river... The bloody river seems to be... it seems to have an energy. It's both your blood and your god's blood and your people's blood. And it's trapped. It's like... It's a river that does not want to be dammed.
Am I remembering this or am I living it? Like,
both
am I there?
both water dam and damned with an N.
Nice poetic device there, buddy.
You know that this was your first dream and that it is definitely inspired by forces beyond you. How could you know these things when you were but a babe? Maybe you know it's your first dream, but maybe this thing's showing you the first true dream you had. You can feel a low boiling anger. The river does not want to be here for both reasons. It is confined and it does not want to stagnate. You can hear your familiar. Oh, it doesn't want to sit. It did that once.
I'm trying to keep us moving.
Yeah, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
I don't like to sit either, but I'm getting the sense that we gotta keep moving.
I think this is this the place to receive the blessing?
Thurgus just sort of went slackjaw for a moment, and then he's talking. He's now talking to his. You don't see a place to stick your face. There was definitely something magical that wafted over Thurgus for a moment.
I am going to approach that altar as well.
Okay. Pharisee, your first true dream is actually one of wind and spring. Of growth and of happiness, of a carefree summer, of frolicking and singing, laughter. Your first true dream was of garden. Your first true dream was something that you had overlooked. The premonition of autumn. Leaves that had started to turn yellow. You were too young, you were too innocent then to really understand the changing of seasons in a place like Garden, which was so full of life and that had year-round growth.
I'll shed a tear for that.
You realize that you may have had a power to see what was to come through your patron, and only now have the experience and wisdom to to heed such warnings. The fact that Iambulus is showing you this as an important dream might require some contemplation.
Indeed.
Well, I'll step up. I'll come up by this side, around Thursday, and I think she probably steps out.
You feel the eyes of the triple-headed titan that is in the alcove on the fresco following you as you're passing by it. You can feel their gaze.
Yeah, I bet I do.
You gonna scorn your patron again?
Hateful and spiteful.
I mean, I'm gonna take a look, check out. This is, I guess, the draw of this temple. I'm gonna see what's going on here.
Are
You
you
should go to
gonna
his alcove first.
Are you gonna approach the shrine of Iambulus?
I guess if I'm feeling the eyes of him upon, I should probably go up to him first and go, "Hello, Mr. Moores. How do you do, sir? It is I, Professor Henry Sinclair Chalmers III, your most beloved acolyte, or whatever our relationship is, champion, I believe. I am your champion, willing or not. I've come to say hi. Still haven't attained godhood. I'll check back when I do that. Maybe we can go out for tea or something on whatever celestial plane you exist in. Nice to see you.
The deity that you've sworn yourself to, or at least have attracted the attention of, the entire temple rumbles a little bit. And you guys can hear the sound of scraping, like something really titanic, pun intended. Some very large stonework moving, kind of going.
No need to get up. Just popping in to say hi.
The noise is coming from somewhere out here.
Unless, of course, you've come to reward your inspiring champion for my many great deeds of chaos.
Then there's the slam of stone hitting stone. Go.
No, that's fine too.
The entire temple shakes a little bit. Whatever had just moved is now just caused the water to ripple.
Yes.
Whatever slammed shut, or a stone moving, or something happened deeper within.
Yes, man.
You no longer feel the ire of the tri-headed god. Like, it's just a fresco. They're not looking at you anymore.
Oh, well, yes, well, nice to see you then. Until we meet again.
I think Zephyros is going to be curious about what's going on. He may also approach.
Yep. So Zephyros, while the professor is floating forward, while he's talking to Keratos, floats forward. Are you entering into the shrine, or putting any of your person into the shrine?
Zephyros would have seen what others had done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's just going to do the same.
Okay, you inch your head forward, and finally, you have a vision, Zephyros. There's a vision of a splendorous place filled with life, a savanna, jungles. You can see peoples like your own wandering the plains, flying about. You can see other peoples there as well. You might be dreaming of Hashmala. A verdant garden where this might actually be more. It could be Heshmola. It could be another place. It looks like it is a place full of peace and learning, of tranquility. A utopia of sorts. For all manner of inherited races. In particular, you see your own, but you can see them living, teaching, farming, roaming, like stretched before you an entire civilization.
Do I get the sense that I've been there, or that this is just something I long for?
You take a moment to think about it. You've never been here. But this is something that is spoken in hushed tones with reverence amongst young Fant and others in the commune. It is a fantastical place that is thought to have once existed, to still exist, and perhaps will again exist. This could be the Heshmola itself, or maybe even the dream of Heshmola. Nice. A world for your own people. Whether or not Zephyros wants this is up to you, but you've definitely dreamt about it, and you're being reminded of this early true dream that you've had.
As this is done, whenever this is done, Zephyros is just going to take a step back and just quietly whisper, but loud enough for people around to hear. He's just going to say, Heshmola.
The one thing you did notice about Heshmola is that there were no non-inherited races there.
Has Thurgus heard of Heshmola? Is that in...
Do you have any knowledge religion or knowledge planes?
I have knowledge religion. Not a ton.
Sure. You actually remember. So, remember that cat lady who right now you're trying to help out? Her name is Esri, the one who's blamed by the queen for the death of her husband, who you're trying to help by gaining this dream mark. Esri has claimed that she's from Heshmola.
Oh, okay.
You heard about Heshmola beforehand as this place of paradise where many of the inherited races came from, but you guys came from the Beastlands, so you guys were different.
Got it.
Where is it? Oh, it's out there somewhere. You know, like that kind of story.
But it's not. Is it like a fairy tale to my people?
It would almost be a fairy. It would be a fairy tale to not only your people, but like a secondhand fairy tale.
Got it.
Your people are
those other people talk about it or whatever.
Yeah, your people are too new. Zephyros, you take a step back.
I imagine I'm still finishing up arguing with my god or whatever. Did the NPCs step up here? I hold the sword into the alcove.
You stick the sword into the alcove. You can. Like nobody's offering it at this point, but you could do that.
Am I done chatting?
Yeah, you're done chatting with Kiratos Morris at this point.
I will see the sword, I guess, laying about on the ground. I will.
No, it's on Zephyrus's person, but you could grab it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll grab it and I will step forward into the alcove and say, like, "Oh, don't say I never did anything for you, dear paladin."
Okay. All right. Someone remind me. I need to describe Darian's true dreams to him.
Leave him as an offering.
Do you want us to put it at the top of his character sheet?
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Darian may have some significant dreams based off of who he is and who his family is.
It's just a dinner conversation with his.
Well,
family.
his name is
Saying nothing.
Darian Montague II. His father's name is Vostar. He is the twin of his aunt Vicara. His grandmother's name is Isolde, and his grandfather's name is Darian Montague I.
Just imagine his like ideal paradise is a conversation that is like 4 words long. You know, it's just how are you now?
For those,
so bad.
yeah, for those who have watched the Enter the Dungeon campaign, some of those names may have significance.
Ooh, I don't know these characters.
This was our 50-game playtest of Pathfinder 2.
Yeah, we keep.
Oh,
There's like
nice,
the
right.
repeating dungeon world.
Very
right,
cool.
Where you die and you start the game over again.
Something.
Well, I think our path forward here is through that well.
Do I have any kind of dream while I'm standing up here with the sword?
No.
It's closed off to me.
The magic seems to have subsided, and perhaps other conditions are blocking you from having a dream. You feel uneasy, but given that you've already opened your mind today, it just seems like the cocoon of your mind is shut to these experiences, or at least to this experience.
It seems to have run out of juice then. Anyone else giving it a try? Otherwise, perhaps that golden well or whatever it is we heard slam shut.
What are we doing?
Oh, just go stand there and tell us what you see.
Okay, Tech goes in. He apparently bugs Dream because he stops and he stares. He twitches a little bit.
Oh, I guess it's not out of juice.
He blinks. His antennae are kind of moving around like he's processing something, and then eventually he just steps back.
Was it a good experience?
We may be exterminated.
Not on my watch.
That's a bit dark. Care to elaborate? No.
Yeah, I'm just looking for a name.
Nah, I'm good, bro.
Hookerbeck, if you would like,
Hard
perhaps it will
pass.
tell you of your past.
There it is.
Makradam, even you may have something to dream.
The sixth-armed queen is not what she appears to be.
Ah. The Red Mantis God?
Sixth-armed queen serves the mantis.
Ah, yes, yes.
She is not. She will lead us to extermination.
Ah. You were wise not to follow.
Tribe of one.
Hopefully we can save some more. Bring them into the next place where spring flourishes.
I don't see what this chaotic god will teach me. I have Bumba Dumba Dumba to guide me.
Ah. No knowledge for you then today. How about we go jump down a well? What do you think?
Before we walk away, Zephyrus says to Pharaoh, would have been interesting if we had Ludo here.
Yeah, it would.
Oh, I want to
maybe we
go
can bring him
look.
back sometime. Oh, yes.
I think The crawling claw will scuttle forward too. Do undead dream.
First, Macronome goes forward.